Stefania is the meanest girl in our school. This girl knows how to attract attention, reject boys gracefully, and was very popular as a fashion expert. She didn't notice me, considering me ugly because of the size of my feet. But one day, it was precisely my feet that got her attention. Let me tell you how. Hello from Brazil. My name is Maria, and I have the largest foot size in school. Despite this, I never considered myself ugly. I overcame my shyness because I still had friends who loved me. One of my best friends, Antonia, always stood up for me, and when people got used to it, everyone stopped caring about my feet, except for Steph. One day, Antonia came up to me, squealing with delight. She and I were invited to a party, and it was none other than the school's mean girl. I immediately asked if this didn't seem suspicious, but Antonia said she invited almost all the girls to this charity event. She'll be giving away her old branded clothes. Please come with me. You know how important this is to me, said my friend, and I agreed to do it just for her. The evening was indeed interesting, but I didn't take any clothes with me. We ate and started dancing. Because there were so many people in the house, my feet got stepped on. I couldn't even feel them through the throbbing. Deciding to find a secluded place, I went upstairs and entered a bedroom. Apparently, this was Steph's room. I sat on her bed, took off my shoes, and just wanted to rest a little bit. Then a drunken classmate just burst into the room. He almost made it to the bed, but then fell down next to it. I helped him up, and he laughed at my feet, then immediately passed out. I took my sneakers, put them back on my sore feet, and wanted to leave. Then Antonia screamed my name on the first floor. Frightened, I ran down the stairs. She said her mother found out where we were hanging out and threatened to punish us. I ran home. Upon entering my room at home, I discovered a ring in my left shoe. I wonder whose it is and how it got in there. Ah, right, it must have fallen in when I was in Steph's room. Maybe it was on her bed and fell into my shoe? I'll give it back to her tomorrow, I said and just went to sleep. In the morning, I realized I'd overslept and had to run to get to school. As soon as I entered the classroom, I saw that Antonia was surrounded by girls, with Steph standing in front. What's going on here? Your friend is being accused of stealing. Or maybe it was you. After all, you were in my room, and then my ring disappeared. I just pulled the ring out and handed it to Stephanie, and she grabbed it, calling me a thief. If I had stolen it, why would I bring it back to you the next day? Who knows? Maybe you're a kleptomaniac, huh? After that incident, almost no one would talk to me, except for Antonia, who believed I didn't do it. Then things only got worse. All the girls started complaining about missing things. Someone's earrings, someone's hairpins, glasses, purses, and Jeanette's triangle-shaped pendant with an engraved name. Everyone thought I was doing it. My classmates started to hold their bags tighter as they passed by me. Nobody had lunch with me, and hardly anyone even greeted me. It was horrible. During one of the lessons, Steph threw a note at me, which read, "I lost my pen. You can keep it." Angry, I went to the bathroom, washed my face, and was about to return to the classroom when I noticed dirty shoe prints on the floor the size of my foot. I wondered who else had that shoe size. I leaned down to compare the prints and then heard noise from the classroom. The teacher ran out. Antonia told me that her phone had been stolen and she'd run to complain to the principal. Within a minute, the principal was standing there looking at me, and Steph confidently reported that I was the thief and presented the evidence, the footprints. They asked me to open my school locker, and I did, and then I saw that the phone was inside. "I didn't take it, I swear!" I screamed, but no one would listen. Then my mom was called to the school. At home, I was waiting for an unpleasant conversation, but my mom was just worried about compensating for all the missing things. While she was away at work, I decisively went to Steph's house to figure it out because she'd convinced everyone that I was the thief. No one opened the door, so I entered without permission. I heard a noise and hid behind the sofa. Stephanie's father was yelling at her, and he even raised his hand towards her, causing her to fall back and hit her head on the floor. I managed to extend my legs, and Steph's head landed on my ankle, which caused her to lose consciousness. Her drunk father immediately left the house without even asking who I was. My classmate was indeed surprised by my visit, but then thanked me for saving her. She suggested we go up to her room, where she told me about her alcoholic father, and then asked me not to tell anyone else. I felt so sorry for her. I wanted to talk about it, but then she offered me some juice and went to the kitchen. I sat on her bed, staring at the room again, and then noticed something shiny sticking out of the closet. It was a triangular pendant with the inscription, Jeanette. When I opened the closet, I found the rest of the stolen items. Then Steph walked back into the room. "Don't touch that! Who told you you could look?" "So you're the thief?" I'm not a thief. I have kleptomania," she admitted, bursting into tears. "So you wanted to frame me?" "Well, they started to suspect me, and I just decided to put the blame on you and Antonia." "And you organized that party, right? You planned it all in advance." "I'm sorry. The ring didn't fall by accident. I asked Jess to put it in your shoe. I'm sorry. I'm so ashamed." "And where did the footprints come from?" "We took your spare shoes and used them while you were out of class. Everything was supposed to go perfectly if you hadn't come to me unexpectedly." "If I hadn't come, who knows what your father might have done to you?" "You're right. I'm so sorry and I'm so ashamed. Please forgive me." Steph really felt ashamed, and we talked about everything. Then she went to school the next day, returned what she'd stolen, and asked everyone else for forgiveness too. Jill pushed me, and I fell right on my butt into the legs of her boyfriend Archie, whom I've had a crush on for at least 5 years. Why am I such a loser? Why don't I have a boyfriend like Archie, or any boyfriend at all? What's wrong with me? What did I do to deserve this? I walked down the street with dirty pants and whined to myself. Suddenly, it started raining. I had to cross the road, and while the light was green, I walked, relentlessly wiping the remains of my mascara from my eyes. "I'll just grow old and be a lonely old lady someday," I whispered. "Hey, who are you calling lonely?" I heard someone answer. I turned my head shyly and saw an old lady walking behind me with a bunch of medical bags. Out of embarrassment, I decided to help her carry them. But damn it, I've never carried anything heavier in my life. Not only did I have to carry them a couple of good blocks in my hands, but she also whined the whole way, saying things like, "Be careful, there are even eggs in there." What about me? I wanted to ask, but I just walked. After an hour of walking, we arrived at her house, and she thanked me for my free courier work. "Do you want a boyfriend? Fame? Popularity? How did you know?" "Your mascara is running, and the word loser is written all over your face." I automatically wiped my face with my hands, but it didn't help. "Listen, I'll give you a talisman. Wear it around your neck. It brings good luck, but on one condition. You have to take the DNA of a lucky person, and that luck will serve you." Of course I didn't believe her, but the talisman was cute, in the form of a syringe, so I took it in payment for the bags and left. The next morning at school, I couldn't even open the bathroom stall. The lock was stuck. I had to call for help because class was about to start, and I didn't want to be late. Of course, Jill captured the moment on camera when I tried to climb over the top and fell with a crash. She embarrassed me again and spread the video online. The same day, there was a cheerleading tryout. I couldn't even dream of getting in, since Jill was the captain. However, I sat on the bench, watching the boys struggle to lift the candidates up the stairs due to their weight, and I suddenly started daydreaming. What if I could do it? I am light after all. Ahead of me sat Stephanie, Jill's friend. She was combing her hair, and then a couple of strands fell onto my lap. Suddenly, I remembered that old lady's words. DNA! What if I ate her hair? That's crazy. Then a ball that the boys were playing with flew towards me. I stood up angrily. They were all laughing at me. So I grabbed her hair and ate it with disgust. Then I went to my audition. Everyone was amazed, and unexpectedly, I made a jump and hop, and they caught me. And then I made some daring moves, and my heart was pounding with joy. I couldn't believe I did it. Jill had to admit I was good and accept me into the team on probation. From that moment on, the other girls began to treat me with more respect. The first rehearsal went great. We all gathered to repeat the dance together, and when I fell, I slipped on a flat surface. Then I stepped on a loose shoelace and realized my luck must have run out. What do I do? I approached Stephanie again, took a hair off her shoulder, ate it, and tried to repeat the jump, but I fell again. What is this? Why did it stop working? Jill announced a break and called me into the bathroom to chat. There she said that if I messed up again, she'd kick me out. Unnoticed, I pulled hair off her head, and I ate it on the way out of the bathroom, and hop! I performed the dance perfectly. So one hair from one lucky person equaled 7 hours of luck. That's how I started living. A new life opened up before me. I danced, girls talked to me, they invited me to their parties, and I became popular within a week. Even once Archie approached me and complimented me. I almost fainted. In chemistry class, I aced the test and even helped Archie through it. After class, he decided to thank me and asked me out. Oh my God! There were rumors that him and Jill had been fighting. This was my chance. Right after school, we decided to go to a cafe. But damn, there wasn't a single beauty in the hallway or on the street. I couldn't find a hair to eat and I started to panic. What would I do? If I failed at this date, it would be over for me. I was facing disaster, but then in the bar, I saw Kristen, a local singer. Oh yes, I just had to take one of her hairs and that'll be it. I jumped on her during her performance, grabbing her hair and pulling and eating it. I don't know what happened to me at that moment. I was just out of my mind. Surprisingly, after we separated, she looked at me, silently left her guitar and walked away. And Archie looked into my eyes and said, "You take what you want. I like it." Yes, I was on cloud 9. We went outside and he leaned in to kiss me, but something started to feel wrong in my stomach. Strange sensations and... No! I vomited right onto his shirt. Ew! I ran away in tears, all dirty, and headed straight back to that old lady's house. I couldn't make it. It seems I passed out from the pain in my stomach. When I woke up in the hospital, I was told that they'd had to perform surgery. They'd removed a bunch of hair from my stomach. Yuck. My mom was crying in the hallway, and then a nurse walked in. She removed her mask, and it was the old lady in front of me. I wanted to lash out at her for ruining my talisman, but you know what she said to me? Idiot, I was talking about DNA. I meant that if you kiss a handsome guy, luck would come to you. So, you mean the hair I ate didn't have any power? I changed my life without the talisman? Foolish girl, the talisman is just plastic. You're insecure and stupid. I've been working as a nurse for 23 years and I've never seen anyone like you. If you just kissed the guy at least once, you would have realized that you're not a loser. You have to take your fate into your own hands, my girl. So, do you agree with this?